What's up, world? This is the Akintunde Show, aka the Grown Man Podcast, broadcasting live right here on the Free Thinkers Radio Network. I don't see my lower third. I guess y'all would know, but that's where we are right now. Tag your mama, tag your friend, tag your auntie, tag your uncle, call your cousin, call your boss, call your person that you don't like, call that cousin you can't stand, call your ex-wife, call your ex-husband, call your kids, call somebody and let them know that we are on. Tag them if you please. Tag them with this post. Post this video to their page. Post this link. Tweet this link. Let somebody know we're on. Got a great show today, y'all. Again, we're talking about the movie Black Panther. Not unless you're under a rock and you've been sleeping, or you just don't know. Maybe you don't pay attention. But Black Panther opened this weekend to phenomenal, spectacular, spendubious numbers. $218 million in the U.S. broke all kind of records. Another $168 million worldwide over the 4-day weekend. That's the current estimates. It could be even a little bit more. So you're talking about a movie that's pushing $400 million. First black director to debut this big. Also, the first black director to receive a $200 million budget. Also, the first time a 90% African-American cast opens up international and does the type of numbers that it does. There's a lot of firsts going on with this movie. It's a whole lot of history up in this movie right here. And we're going to talk about some of that today. I got a phenomenal lineup today. I got a brother who is from right here in Columbia, South Carolina, now lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and he is one of the stunt players. I said stunt coordinator in the top. He's one of the stunt players in this movie and shot on this movie for I guess somewhere around 6 weeks, well over a month, and was actually in one of the major fight scenes. I got my man Design, who'll be coming up in just a little bit. He is actually, in addition to being a dancer, he's also an MC, a Christian artist. When I say MC, I mean rapper, Christian artist. And so his name is Designed by God, actually. And Design, if you know Design from this era, he was always hitting it, popping and locking. I've been on some events with him, and every time he's done his thing, he would always add in that flair, that extra dance move, that extra flavor to take what he did to the next level. Well, that paid off because he was one of the stunt players in the movie Panther and the upcoming movie The Avengers. So we're going to talk about some of that, what he can talk about, what he can't talk about. But somebody from right here in Columbia, South Carolina is in the movie Black Panther. Shout out to my man Max Highsmith, one of the extras in the movie, and with a phenomenal act in his own right. He's been a key player and star in some other smaller budget films. But Max is not only from right here in Columbia, South Carolina, or living right here in Columbia, South Carolina, but he also goes to my church, Right Direction Church International. And Max was one of the extras on the film and worked on the film for several weeks as well. So again, shout out to Max Highsmith. He's not on the show today. I want to shout my brother out. I love Max. I love his spirit. Love his enthusiasm. And of course, he did a great job in this movie. Also, I have culture expert Bishop Marcus Benjamin on the show today. He's not only just a culture expert, he's also a huge superhero fan. And he took his family to see the movie today. So he and I will be talking about some of the long-term cultural outcomes of this movie. What does this mean? What does this mean in the long run? I'll be talking about that with Bishop Benjamin in just a little while. And later on, much later on in the show, I have my second oldest son, Jaleel Malik Warnock, who is a fanboy, who is a huge, huge, huge comic book fan since day one. Day one, he's not only read and collected comic books, but he also created his own comic books. And it just finished film school and is actually in Charlotte working on his film right now, actually shooting his film right now. So he's on the show with us today, calling in from Charlotte. So big show today because of big movie. All right. So again, Black Panther opened up this weekend, and just kind of some of the things I want to make sure I hit before I bring in my guest. The movie took some heat, which is ironic, which totally blew my mind. It took some heat behind the fact that some people, and I say some people, some ignorant people, I should say. It's crazy to me. Because when the stuff people get offended by and the stuff people get mad about, this says more about you than what you're offended by. If I'm offended by somebody else's clothing, or I'm offended by somebody else's how they talk or that really says more about me than it says about them. Again, to that point, some people had a problem, had an issue with the fact that people were coming to the movies in traditional African garb and garments and kente cloth. And guess what? I didn't even know how big that was. I went to the Thursday night premiere. Shout out to Jositra Robinson and the entire crew who had a wonderful premiere that I had the pleasure of being able to host the red carpet and participate with. Shout out to Free Thinkers Radio because I would have never been on the red carpet had that not happened. However, that said, they had a wonderful kickoff Thursday event, and I didn't recognize just how deep the culture was. Man, people was rolling up in there with the kente, with the African garb, with the traditional garments, taking it to the next level. And I was like, whoa. When I first came in, I saw like one or two people, and I'm like, okay, that's nice. Now I saw some more people. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, wait, hold, this must be a thing here. And then I looked on social media, and it was like people was all over the country rocking their kente cloth, rocking their traditional African garb. And then some people took it to the next level and was rocking a straight Coming to America joint with the lion on the shoulder and all of that. So it was just wonderful to see people, black people, African Americans, proud of their African culture. That was awesome to me. But some people had a problem with that. And that's so ridiculous to me that you would have a problem, and people don't have a problem when folks show up rocking Harry Potter stuff. People don't have a problem when Trekkies show up in Trekkie movies dressed up like Mr. Spock, grown men. People have a problem when folks show up to Avenger movies in full Hulk gear and Thor outfits. But people had an issue with the fact that some people came in their kente cloth. And let me tell you something for me. It really blessed me because you're talking about a person with an African name who has been mocked by my name the majority of my life. It really wasn't until I started doing comedy that my name became quote unquote cool. Where people would say, oh, that's a good name because it's easy to remember. Or people would always say, oh, I like your name. When I was in school, nobody wasn't liking my name. People would tease me about my name. What you didn't want to have is an African name. Matter of fact, for about 2 years of my life, when I was in elementary school, I used to call myself Tony. For real talk. Because of my name. I did not want to be called Akintunde. And because people would tease me about my name. And I was literally telling teachers my name is Tony. I was like, yeah, I know what you see on the paper right there. But everybody calls me Tony. Oh, okay, that's easier anyway. I didn't know that. Well, I'll just call you Tony too. And then my mama, Cheryl Warnock, came to a parent-teacher conference, and the teacher was calling me Tony. She was like, oh. She said, why you calling him Tony? And she said, isn't that what you call him and what everybody calls him? She was like, no, his name is Akintunde. And that's what he's supposed to be called. She's like, oh, well, he told me his name was Tony. He didn't want to be called Akintunde. Well, you know what I got? I got my behind tore up for denying my name. So it was just good for me as a person who I'm literally on a consistent basis. People consistently think that I'm from Africa. People consistently, or they think, okay, you're not from Africa, or you've lost your accent, but surely your parents are from Africa. So I've dealt with all of that all my life. And so it was just good for me to see some pride, true pride in our African culture displayed by my fellow African Americans because they normally don't. Okay, I'm not saying as a whole, but I'm saying many people, they actually don't. So again, it was great to see that. And we're going to talk about all that today. So we got a phenomenal show again, like I said today. A great show. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I got a brother who is a stunt player in the film. And like I said, was in a major fight sequence. And like I said, it's from right here in Columbia, South Carolina. That was dope. I love it. I love it. What you won't find is a hater right here. I love to see people successful. I love to see people doing their thing. I love to see people getting new opportunities. I love to see people take it to the next level. So it was so dope to see that. Please do me a favor. Share this video. Retweet this video. Take the video, copy the link, put it on Twitter, tweet it to your people. Take this video, take the link and put it on Instagram. Got a picture on Instagram. Share that video and let folks know that we are on right now live, right now on Facebook Live. And we'll be on for the next hour and a half talking about the film Black Panther. I would love to get your comments, what you think about the movie. Did you enjoy the movie? Did you not like the movie? It don't matter. You can be free to share your opinions in the comment line below, whether you want to talk about something that we're talking about directly or your just thoughts on the movie. Would love to hear from you. Love to get your feedback. Love to get your thoughts on the film Black Panther. That's coming up in just a little bit. So I got my first guest. Also, look, we are heading back on the road. This weekend, I am in Houston, Texas with my good friend, Mr. Marcus D. Wiley. I'll be in Houston, Texas for Praise and Punchlines with Marcus D. Wiley. So it'll be comedy, music, myself, Marcus, and a whole bunch of other great artists and guests will be on the show. That's this coming weekend in Houston, Texas. Marcus D. Wiley. On Sunday morning, that's Friday. On Sunday morning, I will be in Greensboro, North Carolina at Evangel Fellowship with Pastor Lockett. We'll be there with him on Sunday morning in Greensboro, North Carolina. And then on Sunday afternoon, my wife will be with me, and we will be in Bennettsville, South Carolina. My good friend Bishop Robert Christopher Brown and the Sword of Truth Church family will be in Bennettsville on Sunday evening. So make sure that you share it, let everybody know that some comedy and just some ministry is going down this weekend. Let everybody know, come out, have a good time. It's okay to laugh, people. It really is okay to laugh. All right. Got a whole lot of show to come up today. A lot of stuff going on. You want to get more information about myself, you can also hit us at 1-800-280-0094. That's 1-800-280-0094. That's to find out about scheduling. That's to find out about films, movie stuff. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening right now that I can't talk about just yet. All right, so keep in touch with us and stay right there. I'm play these promos. When I come back, I got my man, Designed by God. This is the Akintunde Show, aka the Grown Man Podcast. Stay right there, family. You're inside the Akintunde Show, aka the Grown Man Podcast. We'll be right back. The Akintunde Show is sponsored in part by Atomic Design. Set the stage for maximum effect for your next live event with Atomic Design. Whether live event production, set design, custom set construction, or modular rental scenery, Atomic Design is the company for you. Official set designer of my upcoming live comedy special, Akintunde Because I Said So. Learn more about the captivating capabilities of Atomic Design. Give them a call today at 717-626-4408 and tell them Akintunde told you to call. Atomic Design, atomicdesign.tv.
$26 logo designs. Need a logo like the ones here? Go to JaleelMakesLogos.com for yours today. JaleelMakesLogos.com. $26 logo designs. Need a logo like the ones here? Go to JaleelMakesLogos.com for yours today. JaleelMakesLogos.com.
Hey, what's up, family? The Akintunde Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour has officially begun. Savannah, Georgia was lit. Moncks Corner was gas. Germany was spectacular. Hollywood, Florida was off the chain. The tour is rolling, and we just added some dates. For my full schedule, including speaking engagements, log on to my website.
The 2014 Dove Award Comedian of the Year.
It's the Akintunde Live Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour coming to a city near you. And if it's not, do something about it. Give us a call at 1-800-280-0094. That's 1-800-280-0094. Or hit me on my website. That's akintunde.net. That's AKINTUNDE.net. Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour coming to a city near you. I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all. Peace. Hey, family. Akintunde Show family. I told y'all I had my brother that was going to join me fresh off a phenomenal opening weekend. Let me just do some of the numbers for you. $218 million domestic. That means in the States. Another 160 plus million, 167, 169 million worldwide. That's for an international haul of $400 million. Designed by God is my special guest right here today. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Man, you going on, sir?
Man, go ahead now. let me set it up real good. First of all, most of y'all know Design as a MC and as a prolific, phenomenal dancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing for him to be, just you know. Let me stop. But ain't nothing him to bust out into a straight pop lock, and drop down and come back up. He's one of them guys.
Yeah, you go. Yeah,
was perfect training when you really think about it, because he was one of the. Now tell me, were you the stunt man or stunt coordinator? Break it down for me exactly what your role was in the new movie Black Panther.
I was more of a stunt man.
Okay.
My part was the Border Tribe Warriors. The Border Tribe Warriors were the men who pretty much protected the king. They walked with the king.
Right.
And the king was Black Panther initially.
Right.
So we were like the army that surrounded him.
Wow. So you were in there in that big fight sequence.
I was in that big fight sequence, yeah.
Wow. So, man, I mean, this is amazing. Of course, we've been talking about it all show. But just to be in the midst of that level of spectacle and excellence, describe, again, just so people are clear on what you were doing as a stunt man, as a stunt player on this $200 million film. What was that like?
Man, our first day on set, man, we got out there on the movie set, and for my first time being on a movie set, it was just like, oh man, this is surreal. You know what I'm saying? Like right. I knew one day I'd have an opportunity to be on a movie, but I didn't think I'd be on a movie that would make history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when we got on set, of course, when you get on set, you connect with people and you talk about, life and so forth and so on. But getting onto set, you see how it's set up and how they got the blue screen set up for the camera and everything. And all these people walk around with big cameras, and then it just hits you. It's like, oh man. But then you start seeing Michael B. Jordan, you see Chadwick, and they're all preparing. And when you talk to them, they're automatically in character. So their tone is everything closer with the language they're speaking. And the dialect they had, South African.
So they were straight into character. As soon as you spoke with them, they're already there.
Already in character.
Wow.
Already in character. So that for me, it was just like, all right, I got to be there too. Let's get it.
Right.
Let's get it.
So man,
it was awesome. It was fun.
So when you walk on a set like that, kind of paint the picture for us, because, I've never been on anything at that level. You know what I'm saying? I've never been on a set like that. So kind of paint the picture for us on what that actually looks like when you walk on. How much is green screen? How much is actual physical or organic background? Kind of paint the picture for us.
Well, so the way they had it set up, when you walk into what seemed like a stadium field. All right, because if you go back, for those who have seen the movie, you see the big tower-looking building and the big hill.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
And as you walk in, we walked in through the backside. So as soon as you walk in, probably like a stadium setup, it had a big blue screen that surrounded it, but then they had everything else kind of built up, maybe about 20 feet high.
Okay.
And then you have some stairs that you had to walk up, and then you had some planes. The planes they had were already in blue screen. And they were set up a certain way with there's a door that opens up.
Okay.
And they set everybody up. They had everybody set up just for the opening scene and led into the big fight scene.
So you're on a sound stage?
I'm on a sound stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that whole outside sequence, none of that was outside?
No. No. All of it was outside.
Okay.
All of it was outside. As a matter of fact, they filmed that scene in Atlanta at a big horse ranch.
Interesting. A horse ranch.
They built everything they needed on this big mound, this big hill, and they brought in. This is what I love. This is what sealed it for me. They brought in trees and rocks from Africa.
They brought in trees. That's when you got money.
They had to make it real, so they brought in trees and they brought in rocks from Africa and set them up on that scene.
So I would have went to Home Depot and got some trees. Like go to Home Depot and get me 7 trees.
Look, it ain't real unless it comes from the real location. It came straight from Africa. I'm telling you.
Wow. So when you're as a stunt player, when you're acting out those scenes, you're doing those moves, and of course it's easy for you because again you're a dancer. You double jointed. You're able to move in the fluid motion. How much are you moving, and how much are you moving real time, or are you moving slow? Like, what's that coordination like?
Oh no, everything was real time. So A lot of the fight scenes that I did was with the Dora Milaje.
Okay.
All right, and I knew the young ladies, so we would get together and do a routine.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Before going in, they had to train us the camera angles and what would look good on camera.
Gotcha.
All right. So once they taught us the camera angles, you would know the number count. So the Dora pretty much would because the focus would be on Black Panther and the Dora Milaje. They were pretty much the highlight of the movie. So they would call out the stunt that the coordination that they want us to do.
Okay.
We would just follow that stunt and they would end it. So everything was pretty much real time.
So
you
would
really be swinging.
So you're moving like a dancer. You like
No. That was the challenge for me.
Well, what I'm saying in principle, because it's just like dance steps. It's like 2, 3, 4. Boom.
Okay, yeah. You can say that, yeah.
Wow.
But it'd be camera angle count. So you would, it would be like a 1, 2, an 8, and a 5.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And they would counteract to them.
Gotcha. Wow. And how long was the shoot?
Oh man, we shot just that one scene, that mountain scene, probably for an entire month.
That one scene was 30 days.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's that one big fight scene you saw, we recorded it for an entire month, and then we had to go back. Let me see. We went back, was it in about July or so? It was in July. We had to go back and do reshoots. They wanted to go back and add more or do more in these certain areas just before they released the movie. So yeah.
Why? So y'all just went back and shot some stuff a few months ago.
Yeah.
So how was it working with our man from right here in South Carolina, Chadwick Boseman?
He was down to earth, man. He's real cool. He'd talk to you. Now, like I said, he was always in character, so he always had the African dialect going the whole time.
So he was doing the Jim Carrey joint, but he stayed in character the whole time, the Robert Downey Jr. joint.
He stayed in character the whole time.
Wow.
Yes, he did. Yes,
wow.
he did. Yeah.
So,
it was cool.
So y'all was off mic, and he was like, yes, design. I'm still in character. I will not break character.
That's exactly what he was doing, man.
Wow.
But it was cool. It was cool. It threw me off. I thought, is that how you talk for real?
Yeah. But you know,
it was cool.
But you know, it makes sense because by the time you work hard to get that accent down right,
yeah,
you ain't trying to just jump out of it and try to get back in it.
And then he can't lose it. He doesn't want to lose that flavor, so he talked like that probably the entire time he did Black Panther.
Interesting. So and what was it like with Ryan Coogler, the director? How was it working with him? Because he seemed like a real focused dude.
He was very focused, man, and you know the whole cast was cool. The whole cast was fun to be around, cool to talk to. Ryan Coogler, man, very intelligent, knew what he wanted. It's always good to work with someone that knows what they want.
Wow.
And want to see, man. And so yeah, he took charge most of the time, man. He was on point the whole time.
Wow.
You know, I can't say I've worked with a lot of directors, but you go in with this mindset that directors are kind of, I don't want to say snobby, but they'll have a certain attitude.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He pretty much did away with all that. When you got on set with him, man, he was like, all right, guys, you know, we're going to have a great day. We're going to do this thing, man. He was always energetic. He was always positive. And if we needed to shoot, if he wanted to shoot a scene and he wanted to get it right, but we had to shoot it 5 times. He'd be like, last time, guys. Last time.
Right.
We'll go in. All right, we do that last scene. One more time, fellas. We got to do it again. I know. One more time.
Right.
One more time.
Right.
You know, he had that Cali dialect, man. So, but he was cool, man. I love him.
You know what I liked about him was, I saw him on an interview last week prior to the film coming out. And what I liked about him was, seeing him, he was on The View, I think it was. And he was talking like a regular dude, like at the convenience store. It wasn't like, you know, I've seen different actors and they get on TV and they get this real professional, you know, LA type of vibe. Dude was like, yo, I just shot a $200 million movie and I sound like I live straight across the street in across from the convenience store, like a regular dude. And that really impressed me about him.
Yeah. He's cool, man. He's cool.
So what's your thinking and what was your response? Or I should say, what was your expectation going into this weekend? Did you have an idea that the numbers were going to be as big as they were? Because like you said, you made history. You made history when you walked on the set because it was a $200 million movie given to a black director and a 90% black cast. But did you have an inkling of just how much money this movie was going to make this weekend?
You know what? That was like the biggest conversation my family, my brother, my mom, and my dad and I, my wife, we were talking the whole time like, this movie is going to make a lot of money.
Right.
You know, and so we wanted to pull something to compare it to. So the first thing we did was we brought Star Wars. It was like, it's got to beat out Star Wars. And my wife was like, nah, I don't know if it's going to beat out Star Wars. I was like, I don't know. I think it might, because they were killing promotions that everybody was talking about. Everyone was raving about it.
Right.
And so we read an article that said it had the chance to beat Star Wars.
Wow.
An opening night. So we researched the numbers for Star Wars, and from 2015, it made like, I think domestically or overall, it made over some $1 billion.
Right.
I think over, you know, but it's just like, we want Black Panther to do just that, to top those numbers.
Right.
So it met the expectation for me, because I knew it was going to do its thing opening weekend.
Right.
But now I wanted to supersede past all those other movies to show, you know, that Black people can do more and greater things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah.
And I think to me, I truly believe it's going to do a solid million, 1.2, 1.3 billion, $1 billion. I mean, I just think just because of the energy was already there. And the excitement was already there. But sometimes the excitement is there, but the film doesn't deliver. This film delivered. Yeah. And delivered big time. And what that does is that's huge word of mouth. So all the people who didn't want to go opening weekend, they come in next week. And that's only going to continue. And brother, I'm just excited for you, man, for you to see a brother who we know from right here in South Cac to be a part of something like that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And you know what? And let me show you that this is an experience that I had on set. So we were filming. Now they told us we would not have to do weekends. That was going in.
Okay.
They said, but if we do, just be prepared.
Okay.
And there was this one weekend, this 1 week that it rained, and we weren't able to get the shots that we needed to.
Okay.
And so it got into the weekend, and one of the producers came in and was like, "Hey guys, we need some guys to work this weekend."
Okay.
All right. And here you have a predominantly Black cast, and you know, Black people, we go to church.
Right.
We go to church.
Right.
Don't mess with our Sundays. We go to church.
Right.
So a lot of the fellas was like, you know, I can't do Sunday because I got to go to church. Either I played for the church. We had a couple of cats that were pastors.
Okay.
Some cats that had to go and you know their parents are pastors, so they have to go and play for the church for their parents.
Right.
And so the one of the producers came on set. And he said, well, listen, he gathered like 18 of us. He gathered us around. He said, listen, we need you guys to be here Sunday. All right, we got to get this shot, and we'd love for you guys to be here. This movie is going to make history. All right? This movie is going to make history, and we want you all to be a part of history. He said, but if you cannot be here on Sunday, I understand, we understand, but from here we bid you farewell. And immediately all the guys were just kind of like, is that saying we can't come back?
Right. We bid you farewell.
You know, so he said, I'll give you guys some time to think about it. I'll come right back. He got pulled away. So we're talking about it. And a lot of us were kind of upset because of how we felt in the moment about what he said.
Yeah.
So he came back. Just as he was coming back, one of the other guys said, you know what, fellas? I mean, he's right. We are making history. And if you think about it, man, it's just one Sunday. We can give one Sunday up. And you know, we brought on to do this job. And so we thought about it. So when he came back, this is what he said. He said, listen, I'm willing to work with you guys. You know, if we can get you guys here at least for half the day, we'll still pay you a full day's work.
Gotcha.
And so I wanted to see just how much willing he was willing to work with us. So one of the guys told him that his car broke down. He couldn't get. He needed to take his car to get fixed. He paid for this guy to get an Uber to there and back.
Wow.
Another guy said, man, my grandkids are coming into town and I haven't seen them in a while. I really want to spend time with my grandkids.
Right.
Bring your grandkids and your wife and be on set.
Wow.
And my issue was I needed this. I was already on set to sing for a church that Sunday.
Gotcha.
And I didn't want to back out. He said, if you can do what you do and come. I said, well, I can be here by 11:30. He said, be here by 11:30. We'll pay you the full day's work.
Wow.
So that let me know just how important it was for them to get this movie done.
Right.
And that he knew. Here it is, you talk about a non-pigmented person saying, this movie is going to make history.
Right.
If they know it's going to make history, They're speaking something. This movie's gonna make history.
Right.
So here it is now. Flash forward. This movie has made history.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You know. So
yes, sir.
Making that sacrifice was necessary.
Yeah. And it says something about the value that he has for you, that he saw in you, that they were willing to accommodate y'all like that.
Exactly.
Because I've been on them sets before, not at that level, but I've been on sets and they be like, hey, you know, what you gonna do? You know, it's like, hey, you know, like the movie, it's like, hey, you know, they like, and they clearly they were willing to make that to shift for their schedule to accommodate y'all. Y'all had to be a very important part. So, man, after coordinating and being a part of something as a stunt player or something like that, you know, again, that is, you know, from there, I mean, that is a huge credit for you as an actor, as a stunt artist, what's next for you? How do you take that and kind of are you formulating a strategy to take that into more and larger things, larger or other things, or or you just looking for God, see what God does next? What's your position next?
I mean, I'm always looking for what God does next, but I'm a firm believer, man, that God give us wood, but He doesn't give us a chair.
Right.
We create the chair. You know what I'm saying? But no, so I am in Avengers Infinity Wars as well.
Okay. Whoa, we got a scoop, baby.
Yeah. I'm in Infinity Wars. So they take the big fight scene to Wakanda.
Okay.
They take the big fight scene to Wakanda. So of course they brought back all the Border Tribe warriors and more to do this big fight scene. And I tell you, man, this is going to be, if you thought the fight scene in Black Panther was big, this is going to be big.
Gosh. So you was in a fight scene with Hulk and
the whole squad.
Gosh. Wow. Man.
All right. But yeah, and then on top of that too, man, that experience inspired me. You know, we always want to find another way to kind of advance forward.
Right.
And so stuntman work, man, was fun, but it enlightened me on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing a lot of stunt training. You know, I want to get better at that because I can see a major career in that, you know.
Yeah.
I know for what I do as far as music and dance that I don't plan to stop doing that. Right. But at the same time, I know at some point, you know, my voice may give out and I can't sing anymore, but I still can move.
Right.
You know, but I want to get everything that I can get now because one of my biggest things is passing on my gift to younger people, a younger generation that want to aspire to do those things, developing them and helping them find their way, you know, especially starting with my own kids wanting to be acting and dancing and music. So I want to have that knowledge. So stunt coordination right now is what I'm doing and training in.
Okay.
I take a stunt class every Sunday night. It's from 8 to 12 and it's like a team.
Okay.
Of us that win and we stunt coordinate, we train, we learn how to take falls, bigger falls, harder falls. So that when we get on those sets, we can do that in real time.
Well, last 3 questions, real quick though.
Okay.
Were you ever hurt at all while you were doing the scenes, the big fight scenes? You ever take a fist in the eye? You know,
No.
a knee to the groin? None.
I know. I took a spear a spear to the neck one time.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's just because I didn't move fast enough when she jabbed the spear at me. But it didn't scratch, it didn't bruise or anything, but it did gaze my neck. So.
Hold on, man, I thought them was rubber spears, or like some spongy type joints.
No, but it definitely wasn't sponge. It was definitely like some pipe. Like the pipe, not metal, but it was like some type of pipe. But they color everything up and they plaster the spear on there. But I mean, it bends. You know, it's flexible. But still.
Yeah. Wow.
You know.
Wow. Well, man, first, real quick, you got to come to, maybe you ought to come to Columbia, man, do like a class for young people. And then if you let some older people get in there with you, you know what I'm saying? You ought to do like a stunt training class. It's wonderful from a ministerial perspective. Yeah. But it's also dope from somebody who's been on a major set. Because, you know, sometime in the kingdom of God, we be out there promoting stuff and we ain't really did what we talking about. I'm just keeping it real with you. You know, I'm like, dude, really? But you got some real world experience, and that carries huge weight and huge value in the kingdom, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm down. Well, I'll say this: once I fully am confident in being able to teach that,
right,
I'm down to teach anyone who's willing to learn.
See, man, me and my brother for years, we were jumping off the chair and wrestling fighting. I was Ricky Steamboat. He was Jimmy Snooker. Come on, man, you could teach us how to do that for real. We was hurting ourselves, skinning our leg up, almost putting your eye out, getting a beating.
And
you already almost knock you out. Now you're getting the beating on top of that.
Look, and that's funny because one of the guys who said it. He said, "Man, look, as kids we used to go and fight and do all that as kids." He said, "You never know that was really just preparing yourself to train to be a stunt person."
Look at God, brother. Man,
that's what it's all about.
Man, I'm proud of you, bro. Congratulations. Real quick, give everybody your social media and your booking information and anything concerning music, how they can get in touch with Design by God, brother.
Yeah, so my website is www.designmusic, that's DZYNE, designmusic.com. On all social media platforms, it's at Design by God, DZYNE, BYGOD. And my booking email is bookdesign@gmail.com.
Super dope, brother. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you,
proud
sir.
of you back here at the crib, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Love you, bro.
Love you too now.
That's our man, Designed by God, in the brand new film, Black Panther. Stunt player, doing his thing. Come on, y'all. Stay right there, man. Akintunde Show.
Let's go.
All right. Shout out to my man Design by God. Thank you for the interview, man. Design did his thing in the movie. Proud of you, bro. Again, awesome. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in and kicking in with us. Shout out to Ebony, the baby jumper Dixon, who is also watching. My man David Pendergrass, he watching right in the back. Sierra, what's up, sis? I got your CD. I ain't listened to it yet, but I got it. Kevin Raspberry, what's up, Kevin Raspberry? Dude, Kevin Raspberry was at the screening on Thursday night that was hosted by Jositra Robinson. Jennifer Cook, how you doing, Jennifer? Let's see who else is. Frances Jones, my sister Frances Jones, Cricket Curls, author, and my guest from last week, she's a dog lover too. I ain't gonna hold that against her. Joy Reese, hey Joy. Joy says she is so proud of Demetrius A. McIntosh. I guess that's Design real name. Only your family do that. You on there under your stage name, your family go in and call your whole government name out. Shout out to Jositra, who is watching. What's up, Jositra? Byron yelled at my homie, a.k.a. Spanky Brown, comedian Spanky Brown. Pastor Lewis Tucker. What's up, Pastor Tuck? What's going on with you, sir? Calling you a little bit later on today. Let me see who else is watching. Jason Jones. What's up, Jason? That's Francis' husband. Bishop Robert Christopher Brown is also watching. I'll be with y'all Sunday night. Swore the Truth in Bennettsville, South Carolina. And Jeffrey Johnson. What's up, Jeffrey? Beth. What's up, Beth? Beth is a comedian, hilarious, funny. She got the red hair, always cool, sister. Melba Trubber Maker Hendricks. What's up, Melba? Thanks for hanging out with us. Hey, my sister Camille Tate, aka Angelique Camille, live, work, play, real estate, doing her thing in Atlanta, Georgia. May Rogers, how you doing, Miss May? Good to see you, sis. My brother-in-law, King Stevie Mitchell. Our Team Johnson, my cousin. What's up, Buster? That's my first cousin right there. Hey, man, make sure y'all share this link again. Let folks know we're on. We're talking about the movie Black Panther. What did you think about the movie? What were your thoughts? Did you like it? Did you what? And also, here's another question: what are some of the long-term cultural implications that you think are coming from this movie? I asked you that because I'm about to talk about with my friend right now, Bishop Marcus Benjamin, who is a cultural expert. He is great at taking something that's happening right now, whether it's the Me Too movement, whether it's Black Lives Matters, whether it's Trayvon Martin, any of the things that have happened over the years, even President Trump. He is great at connecting the dots to say, and to figure out and to kind of look at what are the long-term cultural implications of what is happening right now. Sometimes we see things as just what it is. But Bishop Marcus Benjamin is great at that. So right now, I'm going to bring him right on in. This is my friend, Bishop Marcus Benjamin. And we're talking about this movie, Black Panther. I want to see what y'all talking about. Stay right there, family. Stay right there. Share this video, family. Bishop Benjamin, Ox Show.
family, we're back. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. If you're just tuning in, it is Tuesday. We're live on Facebook. Put your comments below. Talk to us. Say something. Let us know where you're calling from or where you're watching from, and communicate with us. Let us know. I want to know, are you in California? Are you in Georgia? Are you in South Carolina? Wherever you are. Share this link. Let folks know. I got Bishop Marcus Benjamin on the show with me today. Bishop, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing well.
Man.
How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm just glad that you're on the show today. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, so the fact that you could fit us in, I appreciate it. I don't take it lightly at all.
You're welcome. You're your family, so we make it happen.
Well, thank you, sir. You know the feeling is mutual. This is my friend right here. This is if you don't know, this is Marcus Benjamin, Bishop Marcus Benjamin, pastor, speaker, author, motivational speaker, executive. He carries a lot of titles, but he operates in them all extremely well. And one thing about Bishop Marcus Benjamin, he's a culture expert. I love talking with Bishop because your revelation, sir, on things that pertain to culture is always spot on. So I could not have you let this week pass by of this film, Black Panther. And first of all, Bishop is a sci-fi fan. He's a superhero movie fan. I never forget, about 2 years ago, maybe probably a little bit more than that, he broke down Captain America film. Like, I was like, whoa, I ain't see all that. I was like, dog. I mean, he broke it down like, ooh. I mean, this revelation. So I could not have you on this particular week after this movie opens up at nearly $400 million. So much context, so much culture, so much, just a lot going on. So before I say anything out my mouth, what are your thoughts after seeing the movie this weekend? Because I saw you on social media with you and Bishop Omika and Isaiah and Destiny, and then with the full, y'all had the full, the full Wakanda garb on. Oh, they were ready, man. But come on, after seeing the movie and after seeing what the movie did, man, just what are your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I'm glad it's here, or was here, and I'm glad it's done. Meaning, you go to the movies, we've been seeing this build up, seeing the trailers for like a year and a half.
Yes.
It's like, man, I can't wait for February.
Yes.
So one, we're glad that February 16th was here, that we got to see it.
Right.
And there are two sides to it. From a culture standpoint, it lived up to the hype.
Yes.
And that's a big deal. So we left like, we left like, let's do it.
Yeah. To your point, I haven't been this excited about a movie in a long time. I guess at my age or whatever, and all the stuff I got going on in life, I'm a little passive a lot of times about movies and what's going on. But I was very excited leading up to this. And then after I saw it, I was just off the charts excited. Why do you think so many African Americans in particular were so excited about this film in your perspective, from your perspective? Are you there, Bishop?
Well, a Marvel comic. Say it again. You can hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. It shifted beyond a Marvel comic movie into a cultural movie. Now, we're Marvel fans. I mean, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Doctor Strange. We're Marvel fans.
Right.
So when a Marvel movie is coming out, we're going to see it regardless.
Right.
But when we saw Civil War, Captain America, and they brought in Black Panther in it, it was like, oh, yeah. They've teased us.
Right.
So from a Marvel standpoint, we were extremely excited. But then from a cultural standpoint, the way the movie was built, the cast, the honor that was conveyed upon the African continent, the way that the characters portrayed their roles, and to be such a well-done film without excessive sexuality, without excessive explicit language, without excessive even sensuality of the Black female role.
Right.
I mean, there were just so many key pieces to this. Even with the character that played the antagonist, even though he was a renegade,
right,
but you can still tell he was a thoughtful renegade. You know, so there were just so many elements to it that just filled the bill, so to say.
You're right. It was so much that from a cultural standpoint, little small things I saw in there that they were doing. Some stuff that people didn't get. Like one thing that jumped out at me was the Public Enemy poster on the wall in the apartment in Oakland. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I said they really got that. It takes a nations of millions to hold us back poster on the wall, and little different cultural nuances, different things they put in there. It was. I told Unissa, my wife. I said one of the funniest things in the movie was when Angela Bassett realized who he was, and Michael B. Jordan said, "Hey, Auntie." I said that is hilarious. That was such a black moment.
Listen, it was such a black moment, and if you weren't black or connected to black culture, you had no clue why people were laughing.
Right. Because that's how you say. That's how you are. Right. Hey, Auntie, that's how we talk. And to have that in a movie with a budget of $200 million, it just, I know me and you talk about this all the time. The power of the black dollar. The what if we had the money to do what we really want to do. One of the things that jumped out at me, and I would love to get your thoughts on this, was they let the movie breathe. I don't know what the conversation, what the going back and forth was with Ryan Coogler and Disney and Marvel, but they seem like they allowed him to really inject a whole lot of black culture in the movie and let it breathe, while keeping up with the technical Marvel and the spectacle, which is Marvel, but
Correct.
They seem to really let the movie breathe. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with that. I actually have the opinion that of course, I don't know how long it takes these movies to be shot, but I know it had to be, multiple years.
Right.
It seemed to me as if this movie started off as a Marvel movie about Black Panther. Mm-hmm. But then somewhere along the lines, it morphed into a cultural iconic movie.
Right.
And I think part of that had to do with what has happened over the past year and a half in the political landscape, in the social landscape. Yeah. So I think that breathing of the director, having given that flexibility to the writing, to the script, and how it was shot, I really think it was really adjusted. And let me use an example. I think that this movie started off as a Marvel movie. This is a Marvel movie. We're going to build it as a Marvel movie. But with the things that happened culturally, I think that they had a major meeting and say, hold on, guys. Hold on, ladies. We need to shift this. Because from what I've been hearing, there's they trimmed down the movie from 4.5 hours, something like that. Wow. 4.5 hours, and it trimmed down. So you're talking about there are 2 hours of content that didn't even make it to the film.
Gosh.
I believe wholeheartedly that much of that unused footage was standard Marvel footage. But they adjusted the script in order to fit the context of what was happening in America over the past year and a half, so that the marketing angle could really be a Black Panther as opposed to simply a Marvel Black Panther. If that makes sense.
Makes total sense. And one thing that really jumped out at me, and I know you caught this, was the way they really dealt with the Black male and female relationship.
Correct.
It was really a display of how the family structure and order is really supposed to be. The mother and the father together. The father dies and he prepares his son to take his place. The mother honors his position and honors her son and even protects her son, stands up for her son.
Correct.
And then him wanting to have a woman to stand by his side. And he pursues the woman. And then
froze.
Say again?
And froze.
Right.
So you better not freeze.
Right. People who didn't see the movie yet, you'll get it. When we're not gonna give away another movie, no spoiler alerts. Correct. But that's a great reference to the whole point of it was like somebody said, no, we're not gonna let you, because what bothers me is when I see African American movies featuring African Americans, and there's the repetitive stigma. of ridiculousness, ghetto-ness, and just it was such a great movie that really shows and respected the traditional family structure, and I really appreciate it.
Correct. And if I can jump into that same dynamic, there wasn't that relationship drama that unfortunately characterizes many Black films.
Yeah, that's right.
Not all Black films, but in most Black film, we have an anticipation of a major relationship drama between a male and a female character. Some type of adultery, some type of major dysfunction that. And then there's some semblance of a redemption, some semblance of a restoration of the family, but it's not as strong as The Vice.
Exactly.
And so for there to be this type of movie that didn't have that element that, as you just mentioned, showed the honor for a wife and her husband, a son toward a mother, and even the quote unquote wooing of the main character toward the wife that he wanted, or the woman he wanted to be his princess, or queen at that point. But there was even a little comedic wooing that took place there. And we typically don't see that in the standard Black film.
You don't. And what you saw is great honor for the different position, the male and female position. And what you saw, I'm not gonna give away the movie, what you saw is submission, which you really very rarely see in the movie. I was like, whoa, I wonder if everybody caught that. That was good old-fashioned submission right there.
And not only was it submission, but it was intelligent submission.
Right.
It was intelligent submission. It wasn't a male character forcing a female character into a submitted role. Or micromanaging a woman to a submitted role. This was an intelligent, strong woman who voluntarily put herself in that type of role, but still exercised strength and skill. So again, it was submission painted in a much clearer picture for this type of movie.
Now, what did you think about the fact? What's your thoughts on the fact that you had some beautiful darker hue sisters being the romantic interest, the lead romantic interest, which, let's keep it real, folks, you normally do not see. Normally, and nothing against any, I'm not nothing. I got two light-skinned, beautiful women in my own house, okay? But you normally do not see a darker-skinned sister being the one who is the true apple of the main character's eye. And that Understood. I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
Well, first of all, my wife's in the background saying, "Get it, that's right, get it, that's right." That's what I took.
Mika, stand up for the dark-skinned sisters.
So, that's right, she's standing up. But and we actually had that same conversation earlier today. She made, we had it when we saw it. We had it earlier today in regard to that. And you're right, it doesn't happen. Typically, there's a certain type of woman that fits the bill for being pursued. And this movie just shattered that stereotype.
That's right.
It completely shattered that stereotype by saying, not only is your hair going to be different, your skin texture is going to be different. And I'm going to throw this one in there. Brother. She was not dressed in an overly revealing and scandalous kind of way. And he was still pursuing her.
Yes, sir.
From a movie standpoint.
Yes, sir.
That is not seen in major Hollywood films.
Not at all.
And more specifically, that type of dress, because, let's just be honest. She did not have the standard figure that a typical Black character or actress has that's being pursued.
That's right.
So there are some very intentional lessons that were communicated in this film, because they could have chosen anybody.
That's right.
That's what Hollywood does.
That's right.
They can do a casting call. They know who they want. So that was a very strong statement. She didn't look like physically. She didn't have the same hair type.
Nope.
And then she didn't have the same shape that people normally would expect as a woman to be pursued.
And even the strong sister who played the leader of the female guard, that one scene when she had the weave on, And she was talking about, and she said it's ridiculous and did she say disrespectful or something? I was like, ooh, it was a lot of symbolism in there. It was a shout out to the Natural Hair Sisters. I was like, wow, she went there. They went there. Marvel, Disney, ABC, they went there wholeheartedly with that.
And I was talking with someone earlier today, and I'm not even jumping into the intentionality behind this.
Right.
Let me not say the intentions, the intentionality, but the intentions behind this, because we know Hollywood only makes movies that are going to make money.
That's it.
If it's not going to make money, then they're not going to make it.
Right.
So we know the ultimate aim is to meet budget and exceed budget.
Exactly.
So all of these elements being placed in there are elements that not only had social and cultural implications, but they also had capital and economic implications because people want to see that.
Yes.
Women want to see another woman who defies the stereotype.
Yes.
Women want to see that right now.
Right.
I mean, and their husband or their boyfriend was going to go see that movie.
Right.
Even if he didn't want to go see it.
Right.
Oh, you're going, period.
Right. And the beautiful thing about it is other women of different cultures, different races, different colors clearly supported this film. You're talking about a film who's, for the first time, a large tentpole, international, big budget film that's opening all over the world same day. 35% of the audience, the lead demographic in the audience is African Americans. That just does not happen. What do you think the long-term implications are for even faith films? Because, like, again, I think it says something when you just fall back and let the story breathe and not try to force this or shift this to fit a stereotype or a certain narrative. They let it be much closer to realism and authentic. What do you think that says for faith films? You know, what the long-term implications overall?
Well, that's a great question. It's a loaded question. Starting off, it goes back to the premise of, if we're going to impact culture, impacting culture doesn't happen by critiquing culture. Impacting culture doesn't happen by copying culture.
Right.
Impacting culture happens by creating new culture.
Wow. Say that again, please, sir. Please say that again.
Not condemning, but people critique culture, they condemn culture, they copy culture, but God expects us to create culture.
Right.
And Andy Crouch wrote a phenomenal book called Culture Making that talks about that. And so for faith films, it gives us a perspective of, number one, what are we called to create? Not what are we called to copy? What are we called to critique? Or what are we called to condemn? But what are we called to create? Number two, it shows that Black people have money to spend on entertainment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, you and I have said this before privately. I think we maybe even talked about it on the podcast a year or so ago about how in many instances, the Black audience, and not at the exclusion of a Caucasian audience or an Indian audience, but speaking as Black people, we typically have more of an entertainment diet for dysfunction.
That's right.
Typically.
That's right.
Meaning when you look at our movies, look at our TV shows, you look at what's put out there. Probably 60 to 70% of it is overly funny, overly sexual, and overly violent. Exactly. I mean, those are some of the narratives that are there. So we have the opportunity to create a movement of people who will say, this is the kind of content that we want on a major Hollywood stage. Not necessarily, and there's nothing wrong with Netflix releases and these types of releases, but on a major stage, there is a diet for healthy appetite for the African American context.
That's right.
This movie shows the world that there are people out there who have a diet for a healthy perspective of Black people in the media without being overly sensual, overly sexual, cursing every 2.5 seconds, you know, and filled with drama and dysfunction. This movie communicates that at the tune, let's just say in America, with the numbers you just gave, let's just say in America, in the Black black context at probably $150 million of that dollars came specifically from black people.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's spot on. That is spot on. Yeah.
So Hollywood needs to take notice that we can produce films that don't meet the standard stereotype of what has been the norm in many black films. I saw a meme, and I'm not sure if I should say it, but it's on Facebook. You know, people talk about the internet is undefeated. But the meme was Tyler Perry with his hand on his head, thinking about Medea goes to Wakanda.
Hilarious. That's funny. But
again, this movie has the opportunity to change the diet for a great constituent within the black community. And I think Faith Films and Hollywood needs to take notice of that.
I totally agree with you, of course. Now, shifting gears here, concerning some of the controversy, which, I mean, I don't want to put my words in your mouth, but what's your thoughts with some of the people who even had a problem with what your family did, which is to put on to Dawn a African garment to go to this movie and celebrate this film? I mean, there were actually people on social media who were saying, why is this necessary? And had a problem with it. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, number one, I think that's ridiculous. Just first and foremost,
right?
Who said? Listen, I mean, I'm not a Star Wars guy. I think I watched Star Wars when I was like a kid because, maybe my cousins, forced me to watch it or whatever. But I mean, I didn't voluntarily watch it. But I know when Star Wars, the various, sequences were out, people were wearing Star Wars gear.
Right.
They had, swords in their hand.
Right.
They were selling memorabilia, peripheral items, marketing pieces, and people came dressed up as various Star Wars characters. I didn't see any of that.
Right.
I didn't see any of that. So number one, it's a double standard. Number two, for us doing it, it was fun.
Yeah. Right.
It was fun.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you're going to a movie to be inspired, to be entertained, but you're going to have fun. It's a night out at the movies. So it was a fun thing to do. So now there are some people who went and got clothes made. There are people who went and, bought this and bought that. Guess what? That's totally fine.
Right.
Because again, now I think I saw some other videos or stuff where people were dressed up like Coming to America, and they
they went like the full lion on the shoulder.
They went all out.
Right.
But again, whether I personally, would do that or not, which I wouldn't, I'm not going to come against that person for doing that for this moment, because they are in some way expressing their happiness and joy over what's happening.
Right.
Now, is there a definition of too much? Probably so.
Right.
Is there a definition of just being extra, using the phrase from this generation?
Right.
Probably so.
Right.
But one night for 2 hours.
Right.
Now, if somebody's walking around next week on their job with the Coming to America outfit on,
with the full Black Panther suit on,
now we probably got a problem.
But it's one of the rare occasions where you get to celebrate African American culture. You get to celebrate our garments, which we normally do not do. Black folks don't wear African Americans, I should say, don't traditionally wear garments that come from our heritage. We kind of
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
What's interesting is, I mean, that's the same type of conversation that a Polish person could have, that a Jewish person could have, that a person of the Celtic or Celtic heritage could have. I mean, they're not walking around in America with skirts on and pipes. Jews going into business in Manhattan, they don't all wear their standard Jewish traditional garb and so forth. Every culture has a historical heritage of garments that they typically bring out for ceremonial purposes or for special purposes. Every other culture has that perspective. So for someone to say that shouldn't happen or why is that happening, it really reveals how ignorant immigrant that person is, because every cultural group that is an immigrant to another country, they have their historical heritage of clothing that they wear at various times.
At various times. I mean, if you look at, and just taking it back to even some of the films, some of what you mentioned, I've been in the movie theaters, seen another movie, and seen people walk in with the capes on, a wand, with the glasses, with the Harry Potter glasses on, and these grown men. And I'm like, whoa, really? Y'all doing it like that? I mean, I've seen Trekkies. You know, I mean, anybody who had a problem with that from that perspective, I think they're really showing either their ignorance or showing a racist, even if it's not a full racist attitude, just a deafness, a ignorance to what this meant, what this actually means, and how a culture, like you said, a culture celebrates their own heritage. But man, again, I had to have this conversation with you because I said, it's somebody who definitely understands what the longer and broader cultural relevance is and some of the long-term implications. I knew you would be the person for that, and I appreciate your time. Tell us about the In the Black tour, which is officially off and rolling right now. Tell us about the tour, the book. Tell us about everything that's going on in Marcus Benjamin's world.
Can I make one wrap-up comment?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One wrap-up comment regarding that. I mean, part one of a three-part series of blogs has already been published on our Marcus D. Benjamin page. Okay. So it's called Black Panther: The New Narrative. It's marcusdbenjamin.com. And we talk about, in these three series of blogs, was it a movie, a moment, or a movement?
A movie,
was it a movie, a moment, or a movement?
Ooh, only you would ask that question. A movie, a moment, or a movement? Wow. Break it down.
So for those of you who are interested, in that, because a movie is entertainment.
Right.
It's something we go to, we watch, we laugh, we cry, we whatever. But when the movie is over, we're disconnected from it. We're separated from it.
Right. It's passive. Yeah.
But exactly. I mean, it was all for that 2 hours, or 2.5 hours. Right. But once the movie credits rolled, that was it. We clapped. That was it.
Right.
But a moment is a step beyond a movement.
Right.
A moment is when we experience some form of entertainment, but there's a lingering thought process. There's a lingering effect that causes us to, when we leave the movie theater that night, the following day, we start having conversations about it because we can't just flip off the switch because the movie became a moment for us.
Right.
But the difference between, and I'm truncating this, but the blog is giving the full story.
Of course.
But the difference between the movement is that the moment translates into a change of perspective. So when I encounter a form of entertainment, it's simply a movie.
Right.
When that form of entertainment affects how I think and feel for more than a day, it became a moment for me.
Right.
But when that feeling starts changing how I think and see the world, it now becomes a movement in my personal life.
Wow.
So we talk about Black Panther. Was it a move? Was it a moment? Or but in the life of Marcus D. Benjamin, the Living in the Black tour, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
But I want to make sure, because your internet kind of broke up a little bit. I want to make sure everybody heard clearly what you were saying. And that is, was it a movie, was it a moment, or was it a movement? And I would say for us, just listening to you and hearing that perspective, on that unique perspective, for us, what makes it a movement is, what do we do with it? Do we take it? And do we take this opportunity? I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I told my manager / agent, who actually works with Bishop too, but I told her, I said, listen, this is the day to be calling some of the studios and production companies who we've had a conversation with, because this is, I guarantee you, there are meetings happening all throughout the entertainment industry right now. We were having our weekly meeting. And I say it's people in their offices right now saying, okay, what just happened? Like, how did that happen? What are we missing? And so what makes it a movement is, one, how the entertainment industry responds, how we as African American and even as faith people of faith, Christians, what we do with this moment, and then from an audience perspective, how do we respond with it? Do we show up and show out financially, opening weekend with other movies that reflect our heritage and culture in a mighty way? Again, or is this, like you said, is just a moment where we just kind of leave it there? I hope it's a movement. I really hope it causes some wonderful things to happen for African Americans from a business perspective, overall.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
Yeah, but I just want to tag on that. But definitely, let's talk about In the Black tour. You say you've done 5 cities already.
Well, we've done 5 cities already. They've been just phenomenal. And I'm not saying that because I'm doing it. I'm saying that because of the testimonies, the stories, the lives transformed, the people impacted, the hosts, their stories have been happening. Living in the Black is derived from a business context and a business concept, because when a business is operating in the Black, it's operating in the surplus.
That's right.
It's operating at a positive profit.
Right.
It's operating productively and successfully.
Right.
But the contrast to that is when a business is operating in the red.
Right.
They're operating at a deficit.
Right.
They've got more expense than income.
Right.
More outflow than revenue.
Right.
But that same concept applies to our lives as well.
Right.
We believe that God has given to every person 5 grace spaces: spiritual, emotional, relational, intellectual, and physical. Spiritual, emotional, relational, intellectual, and physical.
Gotcha.
And each one of these areas, he wants us moving from the red to the Black, from the deficit to the surplus.
Yes, sir.
But there's a strategy that has to be engaged to do that.
Right.
It's not, and prayer is a part of the strategy.
Right.
Is a part of the strategy. Worship is a part of the strategy.
Right.
But there are some other details that need to be engaged. And so we wrote, and that book synergizes with the Living in the Black tour to not only provide the inspiration and the motivation, but the book provides a robust strategy for every person to move out of the red and into the Black in the 5 major areas of their life. And
give us those 5 major areas one more time, just so everybody's clear.
Spiritual, emotional, relational, intellectual, and physical.
Wow. People, if you want to get more information about the Living in the Black tour, there's a couple of different ways that you can get more information. One way you can get into it is by dialing 1-800-280-0094, 1-800-280-0094, and also give them the website and just where they can go and get the full breadth of what the tour is about.
Yeah, they can go to marcusdbenjamin.com/LITB, which is abbreviation of Living in the Black. Yes. marcusdbenjamin.com/LITB. The promotional video is there.
Yes.
The testimonial video is there. The booking contact is there. We're adding. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more cities already locked in. So we expect that we'll do anywhere between 12 to 20 cities from January until the end of March. And then we'll put a slight pause on it. And then we'll be picking back up in August and go from August to October.
Wow.
So we encourage people to jump in on it because it's going to be a game changer. And it's best to get in on the ground floor.
Yes.
Because it's getting ready to move very quickly.
And not that he needs my endorsement, but I will say this right here. If you're looking for somebody who can bring a word, but also can take that word and connect it to real world circumstances, real world principles, real world outcomes, real world challenges. Sometimes a lot of times we go to church and we get a sugar high. I'm just keeping it real with you. We get a sugar high, and a lot of time it's not. You feel good when you leave church. You feel good in the parking lot. You feel good when you're going home. You feel good at dinner, and then around 6 o'clock you like, why was I excited again? Because a lot of times there's no connection between that awesome word and your natural everyday life. And by Monday morning, you ticked off again because them real world problems back at your door and the high is gone. What I love about
Correct.
Bishop Marcus Benjamin is he has a wonderful grace to be able to connect those dots to what is really going on in your life and make it applicable, and for you to take it and run with it. Day one, Monday morning, or Sunday afternoon, you're able to interact the strategy to take your life to the next level. And that's why I appreciate you, sir.
Well, listen, I appreciate that. We're endeavoring to honor God and what he's given us grace to do, and touching these various areas that he's given us grace to touch. And I remember years ago, somebody made a statement. They said, you can't jump in water and not get wet. And if you jump in water, you will get wet, because wet is a characteristic, an essential characteristic of water.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say that one more time. Wet is an essential characteristic of water.
Yes, sir.
Check this out. What we experience on Sunday, Monday's prophet should be an essential characteristic of Sunday's worship.
Ooh, Monday's
the same
prophet.
Way I jump in water, the same way I jump in water,
right,
and it is automatic that I'm going to get wet,
right,
is the exact same metaphor that when we experience worship on Sunday,
right,
the prophet of Monday should immediately follow our worship on Sunday. If that's not happening, something's wrong, because just like if you jumped in a pool and you came out dry,
right,
you didn't jump
Something's
in water.
wrong. You didn't jump in the pool. Something is wrong. Something is off.
Something is wrong. And the same thing is true with the Christian experience of God's presence. That if we really experience God's presence, if we literally get the water of God, living in the black is about being wet on Monday, not just temporarily wet on Sunday afternoon.
Wow. Praise God, sir. Thank you for you. Thank you for all that you do. Much success on the tour, and much success on the book. And just, I know the next chapter, everything that's going on. I know a little bit of, so I know some stuff y'all don't know, but I'm just excited about what God is doing with you and through you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Well, listen, I feel the same way about you. You're changing the game in media and entertainment and Christian comedy, and we're continuing to pray for you. You know, we've got your back.
Yeah.
And we look forward to see how God uses your various platforms to not condemn culture, not critique culture, not copy culture, but create new culture.
Not condemn culture, not critique culture, not copy culture, but create culture. Man, that right there, that's a whole topic right there. That's a whole show topic right there. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. More than welcome. More than welcome. God bless, man.
God bless you, sir. That's my friend, Bishop Marcus Benjamin. And I'm tell y'all something. Stay right there, family. Got a whole lot more Akintunde Show. I got my son coming up next. Joker's a fan, a true fan, a Marvel fan. I got to get his perspective on the movie. All right, family.
Wow, man. Shout out again. Thank you, sir, to Bishop Marcus Benjamin. And if you want to get more information about Bishop Marcus Benjamin, his book, his tour, as I said before, that's Marcus Calendar @gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 1-800-280-0094 to get more information about the Living in the Black tour. 1-800-280-0094. I want to give a quick shout out to Glenn Sutton. Glenn Sutton is one of my Facebook friends, and Glenn asked me to give a shout out for his students for the Stop Bullying campaign. It's called Lost Dreams, teacher Glenn Sutton for 26 years. And his website is stopbullyingandbystanders.com. Stopbullyingandbystanders.com. Again, that link is right here in the timeline. Shout out to everybody who is watching and listening and commenting. And Glenn, the reason why I gave you a shout out, bro, because what a worthy cause, what a worthy statement to be making right now. It is so much bullying going on. And that's a whole show we gotta do. We gotta do a show about that. Real talk. Another kid shot themselves in school today in Ohio. A 7th grader shot him or herself in school today in Ohio. So that's going on right now as we speak. Hey, shout out to David Pendergrass watching in the back. Letitia Blackside, what's up, sis? How you doing? Kim Bell Batiste, how you doing, Kim? Natasha Naomi Calloway, comedian Natasha Naomi Calloway. What's up, Natasha? Sarika Marie Davis, that's my sister-in-law. She watching from Savannah, Georgia. Shout out to Pastor Chuck. I got to read some of Pastor Tucker's comments in just a little bit. Elaine Mitchell, that's my mother-in-law. She said a movie, a moment, or a movement. Yes, ma'am, it is. Tracer Shan Williams Benjamin. What's up, Tracer? Bilal Childs Sr. What's up, Bilal? Tanya Gamble. What's up, Tanya Gamble? How you doing, sis? Jason Jones had a great comment about Jason Jones, Francis Jones' husband. He said, "This Marvel simply let black folks tell our story." I'm paraphrasing what he said, and that's true. And the success of the movie is proof of in the pudding of allowing people to do what they do. Little things about the movie really jumped out at me, really blessed me. About, like, for example, as an old school hip hop head, seeing the Public Enemy wall, picture on the wall, post on the wall, that's so culturally relevant. It was so timely, particularly you're doing a movie and it's flashback. You got to really know what you're doing and really understand black culture, understand hip hop culture to even put that on the wall like that. Simple stuff that made the movie authentic. Shavon Bailey, what's up, Shavon? Vera Allen, hey Vera Allen. Stephon Waking, comedian Stephon Waking from Chicago, Illinois. What's up, Stephon? Ricky Taylor, what's up? Rick Taylor from right here in Columbia, South Carolina. So somebody asked the question. I'm trying to find the question right now. Shout out to Terrence Young who's watching. Hey, Darren, we gotta have Terrence Young. David, we gotta have Terrence Young in the studio. Do a concert in the studio. We gotta talk about that. Meek Brown, what's up, Meek Brown? One of the free thinkers, one of the hosts from the Free Thinkers Radio Network right here. Michael Bailey, what's up, Michael Bailey? D.L. Brunson, what's up, D.L. Brunson? Reggie Scooby-Doo Williams, Scooby-Doo. All right, Reggie. Hey, check this out. Somebody asked a question. They said, do you think a black production company could have made this movie? And I guess the implication was, would it have come out the same way? It's a black production company did make the movie. Actually, Ryan Coogler production company is one of the production companies on this film. So a black production company could pull this off. It wouldn't not have been the same movie had you not had a black director at the helm. Because there were some things that you have to be sensitive to the black experience for the movie to tell the story that it did the way it did. It was some sensitivities to black culture, like something that Bishop Benjamin brought out that I even missed as I was watching it. But there was no objectifying or overly sexualizing the black females in the film. All of these women were dressed classy and regal, and it's not to say that they were not attractive. They still were beautiful. Their figures were still accentuated, but it was classy, without showing everything. Without coming out and without being bam bam, hey, I'm sexy. When I see a sister sitting on TV, I'm just keeping it real with you ladies. When I see a sister sitting on TV and she got a skirt up, and that skirt's so short that her bare bottom is sitting on that chair, real talk. Don't get wrong, don't get mad at me. But when I see that, it tells me that either one of two things: either that sister doesn't know her value and she got low self-esteem, or somehow she think that is more beautiful than her just being beautiful and regal and being her true self. And she has to show everything off. We got to get away from that. But I love this movie because this movie did not do that. But again, so we're talking about could a black production company have pulled this off? Let me tell you one of the biggest factors that this movie had with it. This movie had the financial dollar, the power behind it. So to answer that question, a black film with the right financial dollars behind it could have pulled this movie off, could have opened big. This movie had Disney, who purchased Marvel Studios, Disney Films. You had a major marketing and promotional budget. This movie was on 4,100 screens. Let that sink in for a minute. 4,100 screens this movie was on. That's a lot of theaters. That's a lot of eyeballs. I saw this movie twice this weekend. Both showings were packed. That's a lot of theaters. So the right movie, and I think when I asked this question about faith-based films, the reason why I asked that question was because I think we try to dumb movies down to reach a broader audience. I have always been a firm believer of that. that you should not try to water down who you are, what you do to reach a broader audience. Be you who you are and let everybody else catch up later. People who want to see it, they're going to come see it. The people who don't like it, they're not going to see it, or they're going to come see it and they're going to talk about it. Either way, it's all good. I'm a firm believer, being yourself, do what you do, be who you are, and let everybody else catch up later. So whether it's a superhero film, whether it's a black superhero film, whether it's a Christian film, do what you do, be who you are, and let the folks who catch up later. That's what I say about the country music audience. Country music people, they don't care who don't like their big hats and their tight jeans and they boots. They rock out, they be themselves, and who cares who don't like it? Telling you. So Pastor Tucker had a great comment. He said, we don't have an appetite for dysfunction as much as it has been what we have been force fed. And what he's talking about is a true statement. We've been fed a junk food diet in media for a long time. And I've been a firm proponent and one who really thought and believes that if you tell real stories, true stories, that's not full of foolishness, this movie had no ignorance, no foolishness, no ridiculousness, no over-sexualizing, no tearing down women, no tearing down men, no head popping, no no, none of that. Ain't gonna make $1 billion. I love it. I love it. Me and Darren Murphy was talking earlier about the Natural Hair Sisters. Hey, my sister, I forgot my sister's name. She represented the natural hair. I was telling everybody, be careful before you shave your head. I'm sure it's probably gonna be a bald head, Sister Boom. Be careful before you shave your head. Know your head shape. Know your face. Know your head shape. Know your face. Everybody can't do the head shape thing. Everybody can't. So before you run in the bathroom, ooh, I'm gonna shave my hair. No. Pause. Know your head shape. And then if you marry, ask your husband. Married sisters, don't be shaving your head without talking to your husband. I know you talking about, I ain't got to talk to him, but ask that brother before you go shave your head. I know one thing, Yanissa, you better not shave your hair, girl. I like your hair. Ha! Get mad if you want to. Darren Murphy, we was laughing because Darren said he shaved his head and he didn't know that he got a face on the back of his head. Darren got a face on the back of his head. I don't have a face, but I got a mouth. My neck, I got a big old mouth at the bottom of my head. Darren he said he got a full face. He got the 2 eyes and he got a mouth. I'm saying know your head shape. Know your face. Don't get mad at me. Everybody, if you're mad, send all your emails to freethinkersradio at. I'm sorry. Hey, family, stay right there. I'm gonna play some promos, play some commercial. When I come back, I got my son, who is a super fan, a super Marvel fan. I got him coming up next. He's in Charlotte right now working on his film, and he's a brand new film school graduate. He coming up next right. This is the Akintunde Show. Share this link, y'all. Let folks know we talking about Black Panther. I want to hear from you. I'm gonna read your comments some more when I come back. This is the Ak Show, family. You're inside the Akintunde Show, aka the Grown Man Podcast. We'll be right back. The Akintunde Show is sponsored in part by Atomic Design. Set the stage for maximum effect for your next live event with Atomic Design. Whether live event production, set design, custom set construction, or modular rental scenery, Atomic Design is the company for you. Official set designer of my upcoming live comedy special, Akintunde Because I Said So. Learn more about the captivating capabilities of Atomic Design. Give them a call today at 717-626-4408 and tell them Akintunde told you to call. Atomic Design, atomicdesign.tv.
$26 logo designs. Need a logo like the ones here? Go to JaleelMakesLogos.com for yours today. JaleelMakesLogos.com. $26 logo designs. Need a logo like the ones here? Go to JaleelMakesLogos.com for yours today. JaleelMakesLogos.com. what's up, family? The Akintunde Because I Said So Jokes and Music Tour has officially begun. Savannah, Georgia was lit. Moncks Corner was gas. Germany was spectacular. Hollywood, Florida was off the chain. The tour is rolling, and we just added some dates. For my full schedule, including speaking engagements, log on to my website.
The 2014 Dove Award Comedian of the Year.
It's the Akintunde Live, Because I Said So, Jokes and Music Tour, coming to a city near you. And if it's not, do something about it. Give us a call at 1-800-280-0094. That's 1-800-280-0094. Or hit me on my website. That's akintunde.net. That's AKINTUNDE.net. Because I Said So, Jokes and Music Tour, coming to a city near you. I'ma see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.
What's up, world? Akintunde Show, Show. Hey, listen, I could not do this show today without having my son on the show. Now, if you're just tuning in, so we had Uncle Frank calling live from Wakanda. We had stunt coordinator, a stunt player, designed by God, MC Design. He was on the show a little bit earlier. Then we got the cultural perspective from my good friend Bishop Marcus Benjamin. Now we're going for straight fandom. You talking about a fanboy, a traditional fanboy. This is my son, this dude right here. I'm talking about traditional comic book head, and he's a film school graduate who is in Charlotte right now shooting his own film. So I had to have him on the show today. What's up, son? How you doing, buddy?
I am great. Wonderful to be here. I don't know why I did that. It's good to be here.
Now, I know you're in Charlotte. I know you're working on your project, working on your film, and but you took time this weekend to go and see Black Panther. I know you've been excited about this for months. I'm talking about months.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Boy, I was not disappointed.
So just tell me your thoughts on the film in general.
Shoot, like off the top of my head, I feel like the film, it was just a solid flick. It was a solid flick. It was just like I was personally blown away by the music, like this. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but like the opening action sequence,
yeah.
when you first hear his main theme started, that was special to me. I said, this sounds regal. This sounds excellent. I said, man, the music throughout the film is fantastic. And I thought the film had a surprisingly relevant message. Like really, the film speaks to me the whole film is talking about responsibility to me. Like, what does it mean when you have all these resources to help your own people, not just white people and everybody else, but most people of your own color? What happens when you have resources and you don't? Like, responsibility. So I thought that was a very special thing, and I'm glad to see that the villain, quote unquote, represented that very well, and that he wasn't just some strictly evil villain. He was somebody who wanted to do well, but took his means to an extreme level, which forced him to have to be stopped. So I thought that was special.
Now, in terms of as a person who has consumed who's literally a Marvel film expert, I mean, this dude right here, like, for example, at the end of the movie, there's some, in other words, don't leave the movie when the movie's over. And then even after you think the movie's over, don't leave then. But Jalil's one of those people who knows all this stuff beforehand. Anytime I've gone out, that's one of the things we do as a family. We go to the movies, and even when my children were younger, we'd be about to walk out of the movie, and Jalil would be like, "Hold up, don't leave, Dad." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so, just as a person who is a Marvel film, sci-fi film consumer and expert, compare this movie to some of the other past Marvel movies. How does it stand up? What does it do better? What's your thoughts?
I'd say what it does better is Marvel films are great in my opinion, but the one problem they have two big problems in my opinion. One is the overabundance on humor, and it's also a lackluster villain. This film fixed both of those issues in spades. The humor in this film was far more balanced. There was no unnecessary witty one-liners being thrown at you. The humor came from the situations. It was natural. Right. It was generally funny too. Right. And the the villains in the films, mostly, besides villains like Loki and the villains from the TV shows you see on Netflix, the villains in the movies are very lackluster and boring. Right. But lately, as I've seen, the villains have been getting gradually more developed and better acting and whatnot. And in this film right here, the villain wasn't just somebody who wanted revenge or wanted to take over the world. Or just was evil. He was somebody with some legitimate reasons. For doing the extreme things he does, and a very you felt for him. You felt for his experience. He was not to get too much away, but he was pretty much the world pretty much threw him under, and he suffered for it. He lost things that were important to him at a young age, and of course all that anger built up into him and pushed him to become someone to become capable enough to take on T'Challa in the film and carry out his own personal mission, which he believed would have benefited everyone. So I thought that was very nice. I thought that helped out.
I mean, shout out to Michael B. Jordan, who did a phenomenal job. I mean, smashed it. I mean, Chadwick Boseman, excellent. Angela Bassett, oh my God, excellent. Forrest Whitaker, smashed it. And again, like I said, Michael B. Jordan did a phenomenal job. I mean, I thought literally, I don't know, you may know, it seemed like he may come back later on. I don't know. It seemed like he could. I don't know. But I tell you, another great performance was Andy Serkis. Oh, how you pronounce his name?
Andy Serkis. You said it. Andy Serkis. Yeah.
Dude, he smashed it. And tell everybody who may not know what other films he's acting in, some of the other characters that he's done.
See, here's the problem with Andy Serkis. If you've seen him as a regular actor on films, that's pretty unique to me because for the most part, most of his career, in my opinion, has been him playing Gollum from Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit film. The first Hobbit, to be exact, he motion captured King Kong in Peter Jackson's film, in 2003, I think. And recently he just completed a trilogy, the Planet of the Apes reboot trilogy. Played Caesar, did a smash up job. A franchise that had no business being as good as it was, but it came out and it was fantastic. So that's pretty much what Andy Serkis has been in, and I felt he was having fun in this film. I wish he had more screen time, but he was a fun villain. He was very fun to watch.
I mean, I was blown away by his performance. First of all, I didn't know he was that funny. That's one thing. I mean, it was like I always picture him being this little skinny dude, and clearly he put some weight on for this. I mean, and he just did a phenomenal job and really inspired me as an actor. I was like, man, like he smashed every scene he was in. He was stealing scenes. Him and Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan is a scene stealer. I mean, he's a dude. If you're not as an actor, if you're not on your game, you stand across from him. He'll suck up all the energy in the room. But Andy Serkis did a phenomenal job of holding his own and exceeding expectation, I thought, as a villain. Phenomenal job.
Yeah, shoot. I gotta say one thing about Michael B. Jordan. His character Killmonger. I liked how his main theme in the film was this hip hop beat combined with orchestra and some African drums and instruments. I love that. I thought that was fantastic. Every time he showed up, I don't want to give away, but there's this 180 scene in the film from behind, walking up, walking.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. That had me excited.
Yeah, you like.
Exactly. He was stunning there. He said, "Shoot, man."
Now,
I thought that was good.
And that's why I wanted to have you on, just talking about from a filmmaker's perspective. And that'd be my last question for you as a young filmmaker, as a person who is fresh out of film school, and who actually who walks across the stage in a couple of months. How inspired are you as a not only a filmmaker but as an African American filmmaker?
I think more than anything, as an African American filmmaker. Now, see, like here's what I've noticed. Admittedly, Black Panther is a pretty big tempo superhero film with a black character at the front. But I feel like we've kind of forgotten about the other ones that come before. You know, the Blade trilogy. That came into the early 2000s. The ones that came before that, Steel. Media as cheesy as I was. Movies like that, Hancock even.
Hancock. Yeah.
Even Hancock. But I guess for me, as an African American filmmaker, it inspires me because it lets me know that that if you wanted to make films with strong, not just black men, but strong black women at the forefront,
right,
leading the cause, and you do it excellently, and you do it excellently, and you throw your all into it, and you just make if you just make an excellent film with black people of excellence at the forefront,
right,
I believe it just inspires me to see a bunch of people of color in a film, in a movie theater, all excited to see like this one character who looks just like them. I think that's special. I wanna have a character who inspires people like that, who people can get excited to see. You know, that's just me personally. I wanna put butts in seats like that, and be able to be excited and have them dressing up as a character. That's special to me.
Well, son, I know you're gonna do it. I've been telling you for years. That all your uniqueness and your quirkiness, it was all going to pay off. That's one of the things that really blessed me when I look at Ryan Coogler, who is am I right that this is only his third film?
I think the films he did before this he did Fruitvale Station, which was a critical hit.
Yeah.
He did Creed, which I love.
Creed, yeah,
I
phenomenal
love
job. Yeah.
And then, this is his third film, and he's been working with the same composer and cinematographer for all three of his films. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Same cinematographer.
Yeah, same cinematographer, same composer. I don't know the cinematographer's name. She's a woman, but I know that Ludwig Göransson is. He did the score for this film, Creed, and I think Fruitvale Station, and he's even worked with Childish Gambino. So yeah, that collaboration is in this film as well, and it was pretty doggone good.
And he, of course, he was working with Michael B. Jordan in all three of those films as well. So
right.
Yeah, he pulling a Robert De Niro what's from Scorsese move by working with the same guys and just growing and going and clearly Hollywood was respecting him and letting him do it.
Right. I feel like I don't know what his next one's gonna be, but I'm excited. I hope they bring him back. He's not locked into a contract like other filmmakers with Marvel.
Okay.
But I hope he comes back and does a sequel because like this film was special. I'm excited to see where they take the themes of this film into the second film and how they build upon that because this film sets up a lot of interesting stuff. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Turns to political and social commentary. I'm excited for that.
Well,
that's the best part.
Maybe he'll direct the next one, and you can direct the one after that.
Man, I would love that too, man. I do it. I go to Africa. I do the research. I do all that, man.
Get ready for it, son. Well, big weekend. Congratulations. Definitely. And I guess I see you when you get back. Continue shooting. Get your film finished.
I'm trying to get back there to you. I want to see y'all so we can go see this together.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. All right, son. Love you, buddy.
I love you too, Bob. It was good seeing you.
Good talking to you. Stay right there, family. That's my second oldest boy right there. I had to have him on the show today. He is a fanboy. He loves superhero movies. Akintunde Show, family. Stay right there. We'll come back to wrap it all up. Ak Show.
That's Jaleel, man. Jaleel, dude, if anybody knows anything about superhero films, it is my second oldest son, Jaleel. He is a super superhero fan. He loves superhero films. And like I said, in school right now, as just finished film school and actually shooting his first film right now. Shout out to everybody who is tuning in and watching. I see friends from high school, friends from folks from church, whatever. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Share this video. Click, log in, share it with your friends, tweet it, let everybody know. And again, make sure you support this film, man. I think this film truly is a moment in time, a cultural moment, a time where films that may not have gotten a second look will get a second look because of this film right now. I guarantee there are studios, there are production companies, there are distributors who are right now saying, hey, what about that pitch we got a long time ago? What about that script we got a long time ago? Maybe we should take a second look at it. Maybe we should take an opportunity. I'm telling you, this is a perfect time. It's a good time if you already reached out to somebody. Good time to call them back. It's a good time to take that extra step to go back. Sometimes it's good to knock again, even though it might have been no the last time. Now is a good time to knock again. Hey, family, again, we are broadcasting live on the Free Thinkers Radio Network. Download the app so we can keep you abreast on when we have new shows and other, as well as all the different programs and shows on the Free Thinkers Radio Network, the Free Thinkers app. There's a many different programs to suit different tastes: business shows, sports shows, political shows, relationship shows. There's a lot of things here on Free Thinkers Radio. So make sure you download the app so you can have this on your phone. You can carry this show with you and keep it with you all the time. Next week, we're talking about hip hop music and the responsibility that it has in culture. This comes from my brother's Speech from Arrested Development. Speech dropped a bomb on social media a couple weeks ago and took a little bit of heat, a little bit of flack, but I thought it was a good point. I want to discuss that more. I'll let you know who my guest will be as we get closer to the date, but that is next week. So keep up on that, and I would love to get y'all comments on that concerning hip hop, concerning music, concerning culture. What are our responsibilities? One thing that Speech brought out in that particular tweet, that particular post, which I think is very relevant, even talking about this movie, talking about Black Panther. He said he accused some of the rappers of taking advantage of the Black community by putting out music that has violence in it, by putting out music that has that's overly sexualized, that's putting out things that have derogatory or reflect a derogatory perspective. Not that some of it's not true, but it's always perpetuating the same narratives. He calls some guys on the carpet on that, so I love to get y'all perspective on that. And that's another reason why this movie was so important. This movie was so awesome because it gave a different light, a different perspective, a different eye to African Americans, our culture, and just who we are, even our relationships, y'all. So again, go support this movie, Black Panther, in theaters, and will be in theaters for a while. And you can guarantee you that there will be another one coming up soon. I don't know, probably 2020, probably won't be 2019, 2020, 2021. There'll be another Black Panther film. You can guarantee that. And hopefully it will lead to more doors being open for other films featuring people of color, even faith-based films, so we can get more opportunities, because it's a struggle, y'all. It's a struggle. And it's definitely a struggle when you're doing it independent, doing it out your own pocket. Hey, family, had a great time today. Again, shout out to everybody who's tuning in, everybody who commented, everybody who's watching. Thank you to all my guests, Bishop Marcus Benjamin, my man Design out of Atlanta, Georgia, one of the stunt players in the film, and my second oldest son, Jaleel, in Charlotte right now, filmmaker, fanboy. Thank y'all for hanging out. Black Panther in theaters. Go check it out, family. Hey, until next week, I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.